Imagine Biggie Smalls no money.
I mean, technically, you can be attractive and with no money, and you get someplace, but you're not gonna get that far.
No,
Hmm.
no, and that I think that right now is kind of the thing that is kind of tainting everything because money in today's world is important.
Yeah.
It's at one point you could look at somebody on the company, you could look at some chick who works at McDonald's. You're like, you know what? You know she ain't making no money, but
Hmm.
she's cute.
Hmm.
You can probably, I may holler at her because she's
Right.
cute
Right.
back in the day.
Right.
But now you like, I hope she got IG going on. Maybe she got an OnlyFans going on. I hope she got something else going on than this.
Because this is
Because
not enough.
no, this is definitely not enough. Definitely
This is not enough for her. In other words, for
because
her to be with me.
no, because again, this is the IG. This is the social media world we live in. Because you want to show somebody that you want to come up. You want to show somebody that hey, we're doing things. Now we also know
That you're on your way up.
Yeah, you want to show that she's cute. She look good. I'm looking good. You
So
want
in
to show
other words,
people,
the woman can't just be regular.
not she should be just be good being regular.
Mm-hmm.
But in today's world, regular ain't gonna get you but so far.
Yeah.
And Lord knows you don't have no body. If you just a regular looking chick with nothing, no body, no nothing, no money,
I
and
mean,
no
you
body.
can buy that out of Target. Little butt pads, little push-up bra.
But you do gotta take it off.
But for Instagram's sake, you're good.
Yeah.
You gotta get your angles in order.
Oh, gotta get the angles
Put all
tight.
of your stuff together,
Got
duct tape it up, and let's go.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that is, to me, is having a bullshit relationship. It's not even a relationship. It's just a situationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, y'all are two people just in this for what?
Time's sake.
Damn.
We just passing time. We know we're not kind of going nowhere with it, but we are going to pass a little time.
And what you just said is the ultimate mistake. Time continues. Time is a continuum. So the time you waste is precious time that you're losing. Because if let's say I'm going to say 10 years. Let's say 10 years, you spent your time on the come up and doing all that stuff. And then you were 20. And then you doing all this stuff and doing, you go do all these things. By now you're 30.
Yep.
So at 30, you're going to say, let me reevaluate where I am.
Now you're talking about you want to get serious.
Now I want to get serious.
Yeah.
But along the way, you may have met some guys who may not have been where you want them to be. But you don't fit in.
You were trying to do your come up years. And
now you're 30.
Now you're 30. Yeah. You didn't care about chemistry back then, or if you were really feeling a guy, if a guy really was feeling you. Didn't care, how respectful this one was or how disrespectful that one was. She was just trying to come up. Took whatever you could take. Gave away yourself to whoever, you had to.
You done gave away your GPYs. And for ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what GPYs are. I call it your good pussy years. And it's just like sand in an hourglass. When you flip it over, you have a certain amount of sand in that hourglass. And when that sand dissipates, so is your good pussy years. So GPYs. So be very careful how you use those good pussy years. Because if you use them wrong, yes, be very careful because it's like brain cells. Because once they're gone, they're gone. You can't go back to, I want to go back and no. Once they're gone, they're gone. So that's what people feel.
Those are quote unquote, when they reference the best years of my life. I gave you the best years of my life.
There you go.
Yeah. It used to be that you gave the best years of your life to somebody who poured into you also. And, you literally got the best years of their life also.
Exactly.
That's
it goes
a
both
difference.
ways. You're right.
Yeah,
good
definitely.
Dick years, good pussy years.
Yeah.
So all that good stuff. So be careful how you use it.
Yeah, because you don't want to have that conversation and it be one-sided.
Oh.
Because so often it's a one-sided conversation. You did too much and you didn't do enough.
Yes, and we see it a lot.
Like you just gave and you didn't get. Like why? Why'd you do that? Nobody told you that's how the game was played.
No, but
they actually
you played
told
it
you
that way.
That's not how it was played.
But where would you learn that from? If no one taught you that, how do you find that out?
No, somebody taught you that.
See, I bet you, hopefully it's not one of your aunties who you can look at her at 50 and like, oh, this is what happens if I do what she did.
Because what you thought you saw And what you thought you was doing was kind of finessing the game and then taking it up a few notches, and you thought you saw your uncle do it like this, and then you
Mm-hmm.
thought you saw this on a movie like that, and
Mm-hmm.
then you said, you know what, I'm gonna just take that up a few notches and then do it like this, and I'm gonna just be out here to get what I need for,
Mm.
for a year or two, and then you thought you was feeling yourself, and then you put yourself back out there. One guy broke your heart, or one girl broke
Mm-hmm.
your heart, so you was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going savage out here type of
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Until, you realize that you by yourself, or it's slim pickings for something that's worth what you want, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. And that's where you were talking about coming with a plan.
Mhm.
You don't plan. It's like you're just floating through and adjusting accordingly, but you're not really looking at the end game. You're playing checkers instead of
Mhm.
chess with your game.
Yeah.
You're just looking at the next move, not 3 moves down the road, because at some point you need to start to say, what am I ultimately? I want to be happy, and that's
Mhm.
what everybody they want to be happy. But what does I guess it depends on what does happiness mean to you.
Well, yeah, what does the happiness look like to you?
Yes,
Right? Cuz sometimes you're looking at somebody else's version of happiness, and that's just not, your version of happiness.
that is so true. Everybody wants to be married. Everybody wants to
Yeah.
be, but
Or
they don't
they want a certain type of marriage.
exactly.
Right? Like you want your marriage to look like mine's, but first of all, you don't have a clue on what my marriage actually looks like.
No,
Right?
you
Or you want
don't.
it to look like something you've seen on TV, but you don't actually even understand what that dynamic actually truly looks like.
You really don't, and it's just because they think it looks good.
Mhm.
That it looks like a TV show, and it's perfect. One, I heard someone say a long time ago, they got married, and he said, "My marriage, this was the best day of my life." And I said to them, "If this is your best day, it's
Mhm.
a wrap.
Mhm.
Because if today you first got married, this is your best day,
Yeah.
you only gonna go down. If this is
Yeah.
your apex, you could just gonna go straight down.
Yeah.
So this should be the beginning of better days. It should be getting better every year. It should be like fine wine. It should be
Mhm.
getting
Cuz
better.
it's something that you're working on.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's always changing. We're all changing.
Mhm.
We're not bricks. We're not two bricks put together and then that's it. No, it changes. I mean, it's like a house. It settles. So you have to adjust for the settlement. You got to do
Yeah.
some changes inside because we all grow. We constantly grow.
None of us are going to stay the same.
No, never.
Yeah, and we have to be mindful of that. That's that growth you have to work on, right? It's like a plant. You got to constantly water it. You got to constantly expose it to the light. You got to
Yes,
take care of it
you have to.
constantly.